On May 12, 2025, Washington and Beijing made a surprise announcement of a temporary trade agreement substantially lowering bilateral tariffs for 90 days and reopening bilateral ministerial-level talks. The S&P 500 immediately rose by 2.9% and the Nasdaq surged over 4%. Media headlines declared, "Trade peace returns." But was that really the case? In truth, this was not a comprehensive agreement, but rather a ceasefire. It was more like two exhausted fighters retreating to their corners for a breather than a handshake driven by goodwill. The core elements of the agreement can be summarized as follows. The U.S. reduced import tariffs from 145% to 30% for 90 days. China lowered tariffs on U.S. goods from 125% to 10%. China temporarily suspended non-tariff measures such as rare earth export restrictions. Both sides established a new ministerial dialogue mechanism to continue discussions. However, what the agreement didn't include is even more telling. No commitments on intellectual property protection, forced technology transfer, or industrial subsidies, the three red lines the U.S. had previously insisted were non-negotiable. No mention of restoring strategic supply chains or addressing structural trade reforms. No enforcement mechanisms or penalties in case of violations. In other words, both parties have merely hit the pause button without resolving any of the core conflicts.